got one bone to pick, though.
Uh-oh. Want to hear this one.
Now, can you at least confess that Bill is way softer on fucking defensive guys than offensive guys? And you want to know how I know? Because he would come up and ask us questions. Like on Wednesdays, he'd always test us, right? He'd always test us, both offense and defense in front of each other. He'd look over at me, Edelman, what coverage is this and this? He'd look over at V, hey, V, what color is the team we're playing?
No, that's not true. I don't think
1,000%.
But see, we thought, because you got to understand, Bill used to come into our meetings. When he leaves squad and all that, he would come in there with us and grill us.
Yeah.
So our question answering, he might not give it to us all in a team meeting, but he'll leave that meeting. When we break up an individual, he'll come in there and grill us with questions.
Hey, Big V, we're playing Derrick Henry this week. Is this a run or pass team? He used to say shit like, I'm not even joking, bro. I'm sitting there. They're asking us scheme this. They're like, hey, does this team coach like to throw it or run it?
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a funny story with Bill and me, right? So my rookie year, I think we in mini camps or something like that. And he's asking questions. And I mean, he's going around and he's asking like layup questions, right? So he get to me, he said, Vince, what is Memorial Day? So I'm like, man, I don't know if it's a trick question or not. So I was like, barbecue. He said, no, you a-hole, what is it? I'm like, that's what we do, barbecue. Man, when I tell you, Bill couldn't do nothing but laugh. He could do, because I'm like, what are you asking me? I'm like, it's a trick question. What are you asking me? So he went on to tell everybody about Memorial Day and all. I'm like, hey, man, I'm like, Bill, coach, I thought you was asking me what we do on Memorial Day. He said, nah, no, you asshole. I'm talking about that. I'm like, my bad. That was my first question from Bill. And that's how I answered it. The first question.
And he had a little jolly smile. Now, that was
the smirk,
an offensive guy. Oh, asshole, you guys get out of here.
No. When he used to ask Grunt question, we would laugh. If Grunt knew it or didn't know it, we would laugh. And he would laugh. So it's like, he would. I truly believe with Bill, and when it came to me, I can truly think that I think Bill was testing me early on in my career on my knowledge of the game. I really was, and I appreciate him so much for doing that because he taught me so much about football and the game itself. You know, a lot of questions that he would. You got to understand, when I was a rookie, our defensive line, we was in charge of knowing quarterback pivots, the route tree, blocking schemes, cadence, motions. We had to know all of that.
Which gives you an advantage because
Absolutely.
if you know the concepts, you know that the quarterback's got to get the ball out.
Formations, like,
Which a lot of, it's crazy to me that teams don't do that.
But Bill stopped. I think we were the last class that came in that he did that to. But I think, looking back now, I think he was just basically trying to see how smart and my football IQ was, because in Bill's mind, Bill is thinking 3-4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
He's like, let me see, I'm going to test and see what he knows. And I proved to him that I know the game of football, you know, and I think that allowed us to do a lot defensively, scheme-wise, with me knowing what's going on, not only from a defensive line standpoint, but, you know, the back end from the defense and offensively what they're trying to create and build through formations and this and that. So it was like not only we had, you know, the secondary, if it was Rodney or if it was Dev with the calls, you know, we had our linebackers with the calls. Now he have trust that, okay, I know Vince will be able to get calls out, get us lined up front. And it allowed us to play so much faster as a defense. And I credit all of that to Bill because how he taught me the game. I thought I knew the game, but, you know, sitting down and having a conversation with him, you'll know right away, like, I don't know much about what I think I do. So I always thank God because he meant a lot to me, not only in my personal life and the friendship we have and we built over the years, but as a coach, what he was allowed to coach and teach me That's why I became the player I became. And that's why I moved from nose tackle to a defensive tackle to an end, and then I can flop to go to this side. So I didn't play a nose traditionally like any other two-gap nose because Bill had the luxury of moving me in different positions, and I can produce at those positions. So it just allowed us as a team in defense to manipulate a lot of play calling from my offensive standpoint, because they never knew where I was going to be,
And a lot of it is common sense, though, which is, all right, take best defensive lineman, put him on worse offensive lineman, may not be in traditional spot, but that's weakness.
But
and then you win. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy. Like I watch a lot of these defenses, and I'm like, I guess we're just that much smarter because I'm sitting here and I was talking to Antonio Gates. We did a show together, and he doesn't realize that I was in 7th grade when he was talking about the game that he was playing. I'm like, I wasn't in this game, but the whole time he keeps on talking to me. How the fuck we lose these Patriots? And it hits to me like it's because we were like what you're talking about. We were the smartest football team by far.
Yeah, we were. We always was.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just know your position. You knew the rhyme and reason why you were doing what you were doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of times I lined up and I knew we had teams where first play of the game I'm lined up somewhere opposite their nose because the offensive line was said. I got a lot of old crap. Didn't realize I was going to be over there. So now I know, okay, now I'm playing with your scheme because everything you prepared for, it's not it. Yeah. So now you have to go back to the drawing board and you have to figure out, okay, where Vince is going to be, what they're going to be playing. We thought it was going to be this, but I remember like it's a lot of offensive linemen like, oh, crap. You over here? What you doing over here? Yeah. To screw your play up. Yeah. Simple as that.
Now, a guy you played with on those defenses is now the head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel.
Love it.
What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. And the thing is, I had the luxury to be a player with Mike, and in Houston, he was a linebackers coach, so play for Mike. And I always knew since the time our playing days that he was going to be a head coach. I always knew that. He was a coach. Like, no doubt in my mind that was going to happen. And I love that move because he's going to get the best out of everybody.
Yeah.
And he's very smart when it comes to the game of football. He knows exactly what he's doing. He know how he want to deliver messages. He's outspoken. If he believes in something, he believe in it. If he don't like something, he'll tell you. He'll speak his mind. But at the same time, the respect that he receives is because what he pour out. So I think we're in good hands with Mike. I really do believe we're gonna do some wonders this year. We're gonna see a different football team this year, and I'm expecting for us to shock a lot of people. Just because of I know Mike as a person and a player and a coach. I've already known him. I know him.
Yeah. And they spent money.
Yeah, they gonna spend. Guess what? He ain't for to hide his hand. If he wants somebody, he gonna let it be known. Hey, we need this player. Yeah. I don't want him. We need him.
Yeah.
He'll tell him, and that's what I love about him. He's a player's coach, but at the same time, he's disciplined. He's gonna have a smart football team. Not gonna make a lot of dumb mistakes. And they're gonna play hard for him. So I'm excited about it. I'm happy that we did get Mike. If that was the choice, I love that we went and grabbed him because I think he'll do wonders for us.
Yeah. You think these teams are going to look more like our old teams?
Yeah, in some capacity, yeah. I think one of the main things we're going to get is the competitiveness and aggressive play. I think, and a smart team, So you're going to see, we're going to look apart. We're going to look like we know what we're doing. The past 4 or 5 years, we didn't look like that. The past 4 or 5 years, what we look like? We look like teams we used to talk about.
Yeah.
Like how you do that? That's how we used to look. I don't think we'll look like that.
Special teams.
Yeah, we're gonna be coached very, very well and hard, and we're gonna play hard.
What's the difference between Vrabes as a coach and a player?
Really nothing.
Really nothing.
That's why when I played with him, he's the same guy as a coach than when I played with him. You got to understand, I seen him and Tom Brady go at it on the sideline or practicing. You know, I've seen Braves walking out a quarterback's meeting with Tom. I've seen Braves and Tom walking down the hallway with a playbook talking about this and that. I've seen Braves and Tom talking about scheme. I saw and I heard Ray tell Tom that would never work against this guy. I've seen it. Like, so the respect Tom gave him for input in what he was trying to do, that tells you everything.
What was the worst thing you ever heard Coach Vrabel say to Tom?
Oh, I mean, it got F you, no F you. The
Nothing
F-bombs,
was off limits.
Yeah, F-bombs was always a part of it. He didn't care who you were. Bill get F-bombs. Brave, man, look here. When I tell you, when Mike believe in something, he gonna stand firm in it. And he's gonna tell you why. Now, that's what I love about it.
Was he a smart shit talker?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
So he like pulls something out of the cutties.
I've been on the field with a call come in and Braves, he'll shake his head, this is not gonna work. I've been in the huddle with him, or when we in the meeting room, that's not gonna work. And he'll tell you why. He was so smart as a player. It was just, you would never believe that he was a linebacker. The way he saw the game, he saw it as a head coach. Scenario, situation, he's seen it as a head coach, as a player.
Now, this just popped into my head. Do you think Bill liked Vrabel more than you because he let him play offense and gave him a touchdown
Man,
pass?
look here, that's one thing I regret with Bill. Like, come on, Bill. Like, and the crazy thing is,
fullback?
But the thing is, he did Seymour. He let Seymour line up in the backfield. So I'm like, man, listen, no shade towards anybody, but I was the best. I was the best athlete on the defense, hands down.
Tell him.
Straight up. I returned kicks in high school. I kicked the ball in high school. I played every position you could possibly name on the field. One position I would never play is center. But I tried it and I hated it.
Yeah.
But I played every position. Like, I played basketball. I dunked basketball. I did all of that. I was the greatest pound for pound athletes on the Patriots. I mean, Jamie Collins, pretty tight. But listen here, a guy my size to do what I did, we're not for to play this. I played linebacker. I dropped in cover. Like, I could do all of that.
And you could dance.
I could dance.
Like a ballerina.
I could dance. My footwork was good.
That's what people don't realize. You're 345 pounds and you could move like a ballerina.
So for me not to be on the offensive side of the ball when I see a lot of guys, not just from us, but other teams, putting their guys in the background that's, have some athleticism to them, that was kind of bummed out for me.
Now,
honestly.
Would that be a perfect moment to use if you saw Bill? Mofo.
Oh, I hit him with that.
You hit him with
yeah, you mofo.
DT.
No, you remember when it was Matt Castle and Tom going back and forth?
I wasn't around for that.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
They was going back and forth pranking each other. So I think Matt filled Tom car for all of these little bubbles.
The peanuts.
So Tom took his tires.
And hit him everywhere?
And hit him so he had 3 tires and still was looking for one. It was in the bubble. So Bill finally like, look, guys, just stop screwing around. Yeah, you're playing too much playing. It's getting out of control. Just get. So Bill had to put a stop to it, man. He was going for weeks. He was going, dude. I'm like, dude, when I tell you, some of my most funniest times in life is on a football field and in a locker room.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know what I mean? So people always ask me, do you miss the game? I'm like, no. I miss my teammates in the locker room and the fans. That's what I miss. I don't miss the game itself. I miss the camaraderie, just hanging out in the locker room 2-3 hours after we finish and just sitting down and drinking Gatorade and just hanging out in the locker room. Like,
what's your best Bill story? Anything
my
with
best
you and Bill?
Story? I mean, that takes me to the Olympics, honestly.
What is it? So, yeah, how does this conversation go?
So, obviously, rugby was still in the background of my mind. I'm on the Patriots. I thought I would play in the NFL for 2 or 3 years and get booted, and I'd go back to playing rugby. And here I am, I'm making it work, right? We win the Super Bowl versus Seattle. We come back, 2000, and rugby got announced into the Olympics in like 2009. So it was always on my radar.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the Olympics.
We all used to bust your balls about it, right?
But we never, we had to still qualify. I didn't think all that. 2015 rolls around. We just won the Super Bowl. USA qualifies for the Olympics. And I'm like, oh shit, like they're going. And at that point I was obsessed. we'd be in meetings and I'd be daydreaming about, just Dyson dudes up.
Yeah, laku. Scissors.
Scissor switchman. But no, I just kind of became obsessed with it. And then in 2015, we made it to the AFC Championship versus Denver. Obviously that game didn't go how we wanted.
75 and sunny.
And within like 3 days, and I was in a contract year. So I was going into my second contract after that. I knew Bill would be calling pretty soon. And, eventually he does. And we get the contract stuff figured out. And I'm like, I got to talk to him about this Olympic thing. I was really worried about it because, like, previously, like, when I was a rookie, Jeff Demps, you remember him?
Yeah.
He wanted to go to the Olympics. And Bill was like, you ain't playing football if you go to the Olympics. And he went. And I think he actually was on the 4x100.
Yeah, 4x1.
But he never played football again after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got a good thing going here. Like, I don't want to mess this up. And
you made plays though, Jeff Dempson.
He never
He was too young. He didn't have enough time in the program yet.
That's what I had seen from him. I saw Bill say no, and I'm like, I'm not so sure. So, I'm worried about it. But I call Bill. We talk about
now. How do you text him or you call him?
Well, he called me about the contract stuff.
So you have his number. So hey, what do you have him saved as? Like Coach BB?
Bill Belichick.
I just have him as Coach BB.
Yeah. Well, whatever works for you.
Yeah. Keep on.
Anyway, so he calls about the contract. We get that square. And then, like, I just remember at the end, I just avoided it the whole conversation. I was like, so, Bill, like, there's this other thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Did he know?
No. And he was like,
no clue. He had no clue Olympics were even fucking close.
Yeah, he probably didn't even know. And then I was like, he's like, what's up? He's like, what do you got? And I'm like, so, like, rugby is in the Olympics and the USA qualified, and I feel like I got to go do this. And I was like waiting for his response, and right away though he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And it was just like, "What? Go ahead." And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I know how much rugby means to you, and you'll be representing the country if you make it, and that that'd be great. Go for it." And I was just like, "Well, okay." And we hung up, and then like,
were you like, "Is the contract still good?"
Yeah, but so we hung up. And then like an hour or two later, he calls me back and he's like, "Hey, Nate, so this rugby thing, it's not like you're going sailing." I'll never forget that. It's not like you're going sailing. We got to put
it's not like you're going fucking sailing.
Exactly. That's better. And he's like, we got to put something in your contract if something happens to you. And I said, absolutely. But I was at the point where I was expecting a no. And then I was like, I'm doing this anyway. And I was going to come back as a free agent and to go with a contract, I just couldn't have been, I never thought it would work out that way. So I obviously end up going. And then, just to piggyback that, while I actually made the team and stuff, and we can talk about that if you want, but when I played in the Olympics and Bill had you guys stop training camp to watch me in the team room, yeah. I mean, I want to know what your perspective was on that, if you remember it, but for him to do that, because I was one of the guys on the team and it was important, and to stop training camp to do that, and to have everybody wear the Ebner shirts out there like Stevie B made up. Yeah. I mean, and Mr. Kraft support, just like the Patriots organization and that like brotherhood and support, like first class. They didn't have to do that. Bill didn't have to do that.
No, without a doubt. That was so awesome. I mean, we were so happy for you.
So what was that like when he? Because I'm obviously in Rio, so I wasn't, there. But what do you just
we did like one of those movie things. You know what I mean? Where you got a little bunch of food and shit.
Yeah.
We all sat in there and we watched it. No one knew what the fuck we were watching, really. Half the dudes are like, "Hey man, what the fuck this shit?
Yeah.
Throw that thing deep." Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was fun. It was a team building moment to support one of our guys.
Yeah.
And Bill was always really good about that, especially if it had something to do with supporting America.
Yeah, it was.
Bill loved the America stuff. On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage sports tee.
Not just a tee, the vintage sports tee. You wore it everywhere.
Then your bro started wearing it, which was cool until he moved across the country and took it with him. Not cool.
Now you're on eBay, and there it is. Same tee, same team.
Still living in your memory rent-free forever.
The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you.
But eBay isn't just for getting whatever your friend stole back. It's also for that piece of sports memorabilia you've searched the globe for.
Or your first car, the one you wish you never sold.
But now, finally get a chance to take back home. For good this time. It's the best place for hunting for one-of-one sports memorabilia. It's so much cooler to find something that no one else has.
Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
I leave our weight room, walk through the locker room, go by our meeting room, go down the hallway. And of course, I'm not really as scared or...
Because you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not as...
You're naive.
I'm naive. I'm
This guy thinks he can go talk to Bill.
go talk to Bill. You know, like, can I not go
What
talk
an
to...
idiot.
I guess we'll start with how Bill put me in fat camp. You know, like, when I was overweight, coming in as a running back. And do you want me to go ahead and elaborate on that story? for
What
starters?
is fat camp?
Man.
Was it
man.
heavyweights?
Man.
Did he bring in Ben Stiller? Tony
All right.
Tony Perkins?
Bro, it's one of those deals.
Fucking Belichick says Tony Perkins right now.
Man, you get to New England, and of course you're going in there, and it's Bill Belichick, and Bill's intimidating, bro. Like, you got to give it to him, man. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's got a system in place, and you don't mess with him. You know what I mean? You just don't. You respect him. You're in the presence of one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest coach to ever do it. I'm gonna give him his, man. He is, because I played for a lot of ball coaches, but you know, you have that meeting where you come in there and you're a rookie. He gives you your playing weight, and he brought me into the office because I go to the weight room and Coach Nash hop on the scale, Ridley, and I hopped on the scale.
How much was it?
And I'm leaving.
How
leaving
much
Baton
was
Rouge, about 235, 238, somewhere.
What
in that.
year is this? Rookie year?
It's my rookie year. So
Came in at 238?
came in. I played at LSU around 230. You know what I mean? Like, as a running back.
But 8 pounds is 8 pounds.
8 pounds is a lot, bro. 8 pounds is a lot. And you wait till the story gets
All right,
going
keep
because y'all
going.
don't understand. my
What's the
pain.
weight? What's the weight?
So Nash gets in there. Coach Nash is our strength coach. And he's like, Ridley, hop on the scale. So I hop on the scale. And I think I was tipping that thing at between 235, 240. SEC running back between the tackles. I'm a big back. Hey, I obviously did something right because, Coach, you drafted me. You like what you saw. Nash is like, Ridley, you got some work to do. And I'm like, all right, you know, I ain't scared of work. Coach said you got to be at 220. I said, 220? How? I said, Nash, you're tripping. I told you, you're tripping, bro. I said, nah. He said, don't ask me. I'm just telling you what the boss man said. And I said, well, which boss man we talking about? He said, you can go see the head man if you want to. Psh, there I went. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? I got to go talk to Coach and see what's up because
wait, so you went from weight room.
Yeah.
You took that long ass walk down those hallways
To that entry door.
and you saw bears.
Cross Bears' office. I said, Bears, is Coach available? And I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I might have been getting off on the wrong foot with Bill Belichick because here I am as a rookie walking into his office trying to tell him what my playing weight would be. But what do I know? I'm a rookie, guys. You know what I mean? I'm just coming in like, Coach, come on. So Nash is telling me I'm 235 on a light day. 240 if I finish leaving the breakfast buffet, eating my bacon and omelets and grits that I get every day. So he's like, we want you at 220 by a certain day. I can't even remember what he said. So I was like, man, that's impossible. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. So I walked back. I said, all right, Coach Nash, I'm heading on up to go talk to Bill to see what's up, see if I can kind of work this out.
You thought you were going in there to negotiate a couple pounds.
Go talk to Coach.
You
Like,
thought
hey,
you were getting a couple. Coach, you give me 228.
hey, anything.
We meet at.
Can we meet in the middle? And y'all, when I tell y'all, Coach is
So wait, paint the picture. You walk in. Where is he? Is he at his desk at his computer?
Okay. So I leave our weight room, walk through the locker room, go by our meeting room, go down the hallway. And of course, I'm not really as scared or
Because you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not as
You're naive.
I'm naive. I'm
This guy thinks he can go talk to Bill.
go talk to Bill. You know, like, can I not go
What
talk
an
to
idiot.
Hey, and truly when I look back on things now.
If I was walking by you in the hallway as a second year or third year guy, I would just like, what a dumbass. right, so you pass Bears.
Look, so I come down the hallway. You're saying all this to say, I have seen, I don't want to get too far off track, but I've seen rookies, y'all, like on my back end, because I was there for 4 years. I've seen rookies come in and see Bill coming down the hallway, and they would literally like just bust a left or right into a random meeting room because they don't want to look this man in his eyes, bro. Like Bill comes down the hallway. I'm not making this up. Cut sweatshirt, hoodie on. Looks like he's been in his office for 3 days. His car hadn't moved. Like, people are like freaked out. You know what I mean? So I didn't know what to do. I walked down there and I'm like, hey, Bears, you can't get to Bill without going through Bears. But if you make that right into that office, you better have a damn good reason to go in there. And I had a damn good reason that day, Coach, because I can't drop all this weight. How you trying to get me to drop it? Let me show y'all how much he cared. I walked in. I said, Coach.
And he's at his desk?
He's at his desk. He's sitting at his desk behind his desk. I said, Coach, can I come in and sit down? He said, yeah, Red, come on in and sit down. Okay.
Did he know you were coming, or was he blindsided?
He was blindsided.
Okay.
He was blindsided. Bears let me in. You know, Bears check said, Steven's here to talk to you.
Did you tell Bears why you were talking to him?
I can't really remember those details, but I definitely
What did Bears go, sure.
Bears looked at me. I guess I walked in. I was like, Bears, is Coach available? And he kind of looked up. And I was like, I just need to talk to him real quick. I guess nothing.
Right. So Bill's sits you down.
And when I walk in there, Bill's sitting behind his desk. And he's like, come on in and sit down. So I walked in and sat down. He's like, what you got, Red? I said, Coach, I need to talk to you about this weight. I was like, I just weighed in, and Coach Nash told me at the weight that you have told him that you want me to play at. And I'm just making sure this is the right weight and this is not like a mistake. And he said, what's the number? I can't really remember what I had. And yada, yada. I said, well, the number is.
You could have gone right there. If you wanted to make the decision, you could have said 225. Because if he didn't remember the weight, maybe he would have agreed at 225. All right, you messed up. Go ahead.
I should have had a better negotiation tactic, is what Jules said. But I'm just in there trying not to die and starve myself out at this rate. So I go in and I say, well, Coach, this weight that you want me at, I said, Coach Nash said you want me at 220. And I said, that's impossible. So I'm just telling you right now, I don't know what it is. And I said, I don't know how you want me to get there. I said, I'll bust my ass and do whatever. But I'm like, 220. I said, can I just tell you a little bit about me? And like he doesn't already know you drafted me. The Patriots investigate everybody. They know everything about you before they even get you in the building. So I said, Coach,
what did he say when can I tell you about me?
I said, can I tell you about me? And he was like, sure. He's just dry. He's not gonna do much. I pulled out my driver's license. And I pulled out my driver's license. It's a true story. I pulled out my driver's license. I said, Coach.
See, look, I'm 240.
I just want to show you this. I said, Coach, and I promise it's a true story. I said, I just want to tell you, if you can look at my driver's license, I slid it on his desk. I'm bold as a rookie. He's like, who's this clown? You know what I mean? I said, these numbers that are on my driver's license are from when I got my permit in high school before I even got a driver's license, my permit. And on my permit at 15 and a half years old, I was 5'11", 220 pounds. That's how much I weighed in high school. So I said, Coach, you mean to tell me that you want me to drop from 238 all the way down to 220? And he looked at me and he said, kind of smacked those lips. Well, Red, I mean, really, I think it's only about $563 per pound per day that you're overweight. So it's really up to you. And I said, what? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, per pound per day. And he doubled down on it. I was like, I can do quick math, bro. I'm third round draft pick. I ain't got money like that. So fat camp I went. You know what I mean? I'm like, screw it, Coach. You know what I mean? If that's how we're going to go about it, there's nothing I can do.
So what's fat camp entail?
So fat camp consisted of me coming in. Once I had to drop from 238 to my weight when I was 15 years old of 220, it required me changing my diet with our beautiful nutrition Ted first. Ted put me on this strict diet. I had to come into fat camp, which was running before practice. So we had to come in and either do our workout, before practice in the mornings, or we had to go and do our workout after practice once we got off the field. I was always an early riser, so I came in early in the morning. So fat camp, I was basically in there with all the guys who were overweight that were trying to cut weight. So I would have to go in every morning, and I'm talking about it's still dark outside, 5 a.m., and just hit the treadmill and run. And so that was the first time that I think the structure, and I look back on it, I'm like, that structure and that discipline, it made me a good pro because I legit dropped this weight for the simple fact that I was not going to give up my money. And let's do the math. If I'm 238 and the weight is 220, let's do that times $563 times 18 per day. Like, my paychecks are gonna be pretty thin. You know, the Massachusetts state taxes weren't too forgiving. You know what I mean? I don't need to be giving away any extra.
8.3 now, right? 6.8. It used to be, and then there's some new shit.
Something crazy. So I got on board with the program, and coach didn't really like yell at me or nothing like that. But I don't know if I kind of rubbed him the wrong way from jump. But it was just like one of those deals. It shook me up as a rook. I'm like, how in the hell am I about to drop 20 pounds or 25 pounds? And you want me to run between the tackle, bang it out with the Brandon Spikes of the world and the Gerard Mayos of the world, linebackers at 255.
Were you better at 220?
Quick as a cat, man. Freaking nasty, dude. Like, once I got to that playing weight, I'm like, hey, you know, Bill knows what the hell he's talking about.
Who else was in fat camp with you?
Dude, I think Big Marcus Cannon was in there early, y'all.
Cannon used to cheat the fucking scale. Remember that? One time Marcus Cannon, he used to have to weigh in all the time. He was always in fat camp.
He was just a
in
big
fat
boy, though, man.
Probation all the time.
Huge.
And he would go in and he would do it with a towel on his weight, and then he'd have a pencil right like here so he could leverage himself up.
Lean.
Remember
lean on it?
Yes, he could lean on it and lift it up. And he would fucking make it. They caught him like 3 times. Fucking Cannon used to have to. He was in fat camp like his whole career.
It's a grind, bro, because people don't really realize. It's like, man, once coach sets this, you know, coach didn't just start coaching.
It never goes up either.
No, that is your weight. So my 4 years in New England, I played at 220. But, bro, I never was like a top-end guy. I never had, like, breakaway speed. So I always prided myself on living by 5 yards a carry. Like, if I get 5 yards every time I touch this peel that's halfway to a first down, I can bang it out with whoever. DBs, safeties, I used to hit those motherfuckers like speed bumps, bro. Like, I wasn't even worried about it. I was just downhill with it. But once you got to the league and you had to lose that weight, you know, you became more of a pro. You know what I mean? And so Bill went back, and after we didn't get the negotiation the first time, I think it was about halfway through the season, I'm like, Coach, can I get a couple pounds? Give me a little bit here or there. He still didn't lighten up, but it was just like I learned to respect that, bro, don't question, just do. You know what I mean? Because it made me a hell of a running back. It really did. And I would have never been there and never even thought about playing that light because I didn't think I had the pop behind my pads to be a first and second down back and a short yardage back like I was, but I was wrong. I can say that.
He's probably at that point in his career seen about 1,000 of you.
Yes, correct, and knows the weight that he wants to make.
He's seen the Herschel. He's seen them all.
You know, I brought that Southern flair to the locker room. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we believe coming out of LSU, man, it was like you look good, you play good. You got to be swagged out. You know what I mean? You got to have some good tunes and have the energy going. So I used to pull up to game day in the Hummer. You know what I mean? Subs going, beating the block down. Holler at my people at the gate. Oh, what's up? Hey? And it was just always good.
Gary's doing a donut in there for the crowd.
Hey, and that's another story too, man. Remember when we had the big snow? You don't remember this. We had the big snowstorm.
Yeah, we were all just ripping donuts in the parking lot.
In the parking lot. And
I do that every snow.
It crashed into Marcus Cannon.
Did you?
Before the game. Before the game, we're out there just going nuts.
Before a game? I do like on a Friday when there's no one in there.
I think it was like before. I want to say it was before the game because we had the snowstorm. We were taking those back roads, you know, where you go through Foxborough. You know, you had the little houses and everybody was like lived next to each other. So it's like a caravan. All the boys are taking the back roads to get to the stadium. So I see this parking lot that hadn't been hit, no tread, no track in there. I'm like, fresh powder. Whip a right there in the Hummer, and there I go. I'm smashing on it. We're just doing donuts out there. And the funny thing is, I remember it clear as day. Wes Welker's house is in the backyard, and Cannon, I'm doing donuts out there, and all of a sudden you see Marcus Cannon come over the hill, and his Toyota Tundra ramps over the hill, and he's got pipes on his, and he's like, ah, and we're spinning out there and hitting it, just having a blast until, of course, we lose control, and I hit Cannon, and boom. smack it. And when I smacked it, I looked over, and I swear, you see the blind slide open like this, and Wes stuck his head out there, and he was like, "Oh, y'all fucking idiots." And he just closed the blinds and went on by his business. Because I really want to say it was either like before game or after game, but I remember seeing Wes with the big old blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's looking out the blinds. It's like, man, I didn't know if it was a neighborhood, and Wes was like, "Oh, y'all are fucking idiots, dude." And it was funny. But hey, we're having a good time. But that was our Foxborough days, man.
So basically, that story just told me that when Bill tells us before training camp, don't drive like a fucking idiot in Foxborough, he was talking to you?
He was talking about me.
Okay. Yeah.
He was talking about me. He was.
And Bill's kind of pissed off. Like,
Yeah, what did you do? I heard that story once. You went into his office, and what did you do?
so I had this remote, right? And again, this is back in the day when this stuff didn't really exist, but I was always surfing the net, and it was a mouse, and it plugged in actually, but it didn't do anything when you plugged it in. You couldn't actually control the mouse, but there were, I don't know how you get this much energy out of 2 AAA batteries, but those 2 AAA batteries, when you hit that mouse button, it would send like Jesus through your body like real quick. And so he was in a staff meeting. It was in training camp, and nobody was there. So I slip in, and I'm on my way out. They're still working really hard trying to make us better. And I go in there and I put that thing on his laptop on his desk. I come in the next morning, dying, neck's killing me. It's like the start of training camp. I'm not even thinking about what I did the night before. And Bears is like, immediately when I walk in, he's like, not good. like seriously, like, and you can see in his eyes, like,
And Bears just the Bears.
the Bear, he not good. And I'm like, what? And but I know what he's saying, right? But I'm like, what are you talking about? Deny till you die. And he's like, just telling you, it's not good, man. What happens is not good. And I'm like, hey, look, I can't play this game right now. I got to go get ready. So I walk into the meal room, and when I walk in there, Matty P is just got some toast or something, and he turns around and he sees me, and he's like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you too? And he's like, hey, man, he's fired up, and because of your dumb ass, we spent like 2 more extra hours here last night. And I'm like, for what? And he goes, I know it was you. And when he shocked himself the first time, he had his hand off the keyboard. The second time, his hand hit the keyboard and it deleted his notes. You know how he takes notes every single day? Of everything.
Everything.
Like, hey, by the way, this is crazy, man. Here's a great example. Let's say we're playing the Jets, and it's Monday afternoon, so we're playing a divisional game, right? We're coming off a loss on the road, and we have a 2 key players on defense that went down. He'll go back in his notes and do keyword search or something, and he'll find a scenario that mimics that almost to a T, and then he'll look and see, how did I address the team? Did I go hard on him? Did I take it easy on him? Did I push him? And how hard did I push him? Did we practice a certain way? What was the outcome? How did it come out? All that stuff gets analyzed, man. That's the craziness and the complexity that a lot of people don't realize. I don't know how much that weighs in his success or whatever else, but that's who he is, right? So now, by the way, first time he didn't have his hand on the keyboard. Second time he shocked himself, he did, and it closed down the program. The way I look at that is, you're an error repeater. The first one was my fault. Second one, that's your fault. Now, we didn't talk about that, but I will say this. When he lost that was not a good day, because it wasn't like autosave, apparently. So all of his notes for that day apparently went bye-bye. And what I thought was real, so I wanted to go get my mouse, but I left that thing in there, buddy. Once I heard about that one, I was like, yeah, that thing's gone.
What did he say to you?
Literally, he said something like, he stopped me. And by the way, Bill's kind of like Tommy. Like, I have no idea how Tommy got from one meeting room to the next. I don't know if he floated in the atmosphere. He like became particles and just reappears like in weird places. Obviously, he didn't shower. Tommy never showered.
Never.
Nobody ever saw him in there. Weird.
Well, actually, I see him a couple times. He'd have the 2 shower heads on him. Remember, he would be in the corner sometimes.
Rarely.
And he
Typically
would do
after a
2
game.
shower heads. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you get 2 showers?
I know. And neither one of those heads wanted to be pointed to him.
No.
Seriously. Like, the water was like, he's hydrophobic. Like, water doesn't like him or something.
You got to think about it. He probably goes to like his sick home where like he's got like hydrogen-based water.
No, listen, I think he has to wash him every day. I think so, seriously.
That's Alex.
Alex Guerrero, yeah.
Little tiny hands. Like,
So what did Bill say?
Hey, man, he was fired up. He basically told me, if you go in my office again, I will kill you. And, of course, I denied it. I'm like, Coach, what are we even talking about? He's like, you know exactly what we're talking about. I really don't. I said, but I'm going to get some food here. I'll see you in the meeting room. But it was weird because Matty P came at me and so did Bears. And I thought they were, like, flipping it on me, right? Like, oh, we're going to make him think that, Coach is really fired up. No, Coach, because Dante was the last one. Because, Dante doesn't mess around. Dante was real matter of fact.
What did Scar say?
he's like, I don't think that was a good idea. You probably shouldn't go in the head coach's office. And I'm like, you too? I'm like, I don't know what you're even talking about.
So did you deny it till forever?
Forever. But so again, we didn't have a conversation about it. It wasn't like at some point he came to me and was like, hey, that shit was kind of funny. You got me. If that shit hurt. I'd be cool to acknowledge any of this. Like, hey, Bill, remember that email you sent me? Like, that was funny. But there's a part of me that believes, like, what he reiterated on his concluding remarks email, that he was kind of serious. You know what I'm saying?
Dead serious. Bill he was notorious for fucking quizzing us on spot. And I could have sworn Matt Light was sleeping in a meeting. And Bill tried to catch Matt. And he goes, Matt, you got all the fucking answers.
That's exactly what he said, actually. I was just going to say that.
Matt, you got all the fucking answers. What coverage is that? And you hit the coverage. What was it, like 2 blitz zone 2C?
It was like the square root of an isosceles triangle is equal to the opposite. Yeah. I'm like, and everybody turns around and they're like, because they know I sleep. Like, I sleep.
Yeah.
I slept through every meeting. And honestly, my wife was like, you're going to get fired, like my first year. I remember Dante Scarnecchia, my line coach, would make me stand up in the meeting room when we had our offensive line meetings, and I would fall asleep eating a candy bar, trying to stay awake eating a candy bar, fall asleep standing. And he would be like, Light, if you fall asleep one more time, I will kill you. And I'm like, oh, man, like I'm a rookie. I didn't know what was happening. On that one, though, so this is the greatest, right? So notorious sleeper. Copen would kick me. He sat right behind me. He would always feed me the answer, too, because I don't know what Bill just said. I was asleep. And so, and by the way, like football, like, yes, we're a bunch of Neanderthals, but like I don't need to watch that 700 times. Like all we do is sit and rewind, watch. So on this one, if you think on that season, we had a bunch of young guys, and defensively, as you know, the defense could get everything. Bill would be like, all right, look, what are we expecting? He'd be talking to the offense in this situation. What are we expecting them to do? I mean, it's 3rd down. We're in a red zone. I mean, we got, whatever. We got trips. And he'd ask somebody a question, and it'd be like a really difficult question. Yeah. And we would come up with an answer that's pretty good. I mean, he'd be like, no, what the fuck? That's not what they're going to do. I mean, God damn it. Have you watched an ounce of film? And then he would go to the defense, and he'd be like, all right, guys, like, what's 1 + 7? And they'd be like, 6.5. And they'd like, oh, that's pretty close, pretty good. All right, now moving on. I'm like, what are we talking about, Coach? Like, those guys have no idea.
What color are their jerseys?
Right.
Like, he would give some fucking terrible, he'd give the easiest questions, these fucking defensive guys.
And they always got to pass.
Always.
Every time. So I'm listening to this, and I'm like, these cats have no idea. And Bill's kind of pissed off. Like, we had a couple weeks of coming in, and I want some answers. It's a Wednesday morning, right? And you better have my answers, right? Well, they weren't having it. So I go on my way out. I don't know why. I just had this epiphany. And I walk into Coach's office, which is always awkward. Like, you don't go in there just to go in there.
Oh, no.
And you got to pass Bears, the little man purse right there at the front, right? And I love Bears. But, so anyway, I go in there. Coach is working at his computer, and he looks up at me. He's like, like there wasn't a question. It was just like and I'm like, and I right then immediately I'm like, what? Why did I do this? This is not gonna be. I'm like, Coach, hey, listen. I'm like, these guys don't have the answers. They're not coming in with stuff. I said, I thought it'd be funny if, like, next time we do this, like on next Wednesday or whatever, you throw me some questions and I'll just rattle them off. It'd be like shit that even Brady wouldn't know. And he's like, all right, well, what are you thinking? And I'm like, you say something, then I rattle off an answer, then you try to hit me with another one, try to catch me slipping, and I'll just keep rattling them off, and all the guys are going to, and that way now they're going to know, like, I got to get in the film room. If Light knows this shit, then I really need to do a little bit more studying. And it fell on deaf ears, dude. He was just like, all right, look, I mean, no, like it wasn't like hey, that sounds like a great idea, or that's really stupid. It was just like indifferent. So I walked out of there thinking, all right, that failed. 3 weeks go by. I'm walking in and Bear's like, hey, Bill wants to see you. And I'm like, oh, snap, what did I do? Like, I totally forgot about the whole conversation, right? And I'm not kidding you. I walk in his office, and immediately he goes, all right, look, I'll hit you with, what they're doing on third down, and then I'm gonna talk to you about, when we get into the red zone, what that looks like. And then the last one, I'm like, and he rattles off these 3 questions he's gonna ask me, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what's the answer? Like, I have no idea. Like, you're speaking like Swahili. I have no idea what you're even referring to, Bill. And he's like, oh, well, so I grab a pen and I start writing the answers on my hand. And we go in, team meeting kicks off, and he starts off with his typical, in the category of what we're not looking for. And it's some Bengals, problem with some guy getting arrested at a strip club or something. Always a Bengals player, right? I swear to God, always a Bengals player. And then he looks
That's how
at
we
me.
learned the Bengal formation. The F was all the way in the inside because he was in jail.
In jail. That's
Yeah.
easy way to remember that.
Catch up.
So when he asked me, when he says exactly what you said, all right, like, you got all the fucking answers. All right, here we go. What are they doing this? And I literally just rattled it off immediately. I remember I could hear the air come out of Copen. He's like, shit, he's awake? And I didn't even know that one. So the next one he throws out there, I immediately answer that one. And the third one, I'm like literally looking at my hand, of course. And so when it's done and we leave the team meeting room, I remember the guys coming up to me and they're like, what the I'm like, hey, dude, just get in the film room. Like I didn't acknowledge the fact that Bill and I set that up. And here's the best part, Jules. I've never had a conversation with Bill about any of the funny stuff that's ever happened between him and I.